Hello guys, I'm Adarsh from Gnosis Chain, and this session is on the introduction to Gnosis Chain and an overview of the Gnosis Chain. So what are we going to cover in this session? So what exactly is Gnosis Chain, an overview of it, why you should consider building on Gnosis Chain, how to build on Gnosis Chain, we'll go over a guide to deploy an app, and finally overview of our bounties, which we have tons of. Then finally going over some resources for the validators and developers alike, and wrapping up with the questions and how you can contact us later. So to get started, what is Gnosis Chain? So it's a layer one blockchain, which is 100% EVM compatible, which means you can just deploy your apps as you would do it on Ethereum, and it will work without any changes. And we follow Ethereum development roadmap pretty strictly. One of the examples is Ethereum recently changed to proof of stake consensus, and we previously adopted a proof of authority consensus, and we also have changed it now to a proof of stake consensus mechanism. We use a dual token system, one for gas and one for uh, staking. And XDAI, which is used for gas, is a stable coin which is tied to the DAI on Ethereum, and that means you get stable prices for your gas. And it's highly decentralized. We are the second most decentralized chain out there, right after Ethereum, and we plan to increase our decentralization with not just the number of nodes, but also the different countries in which node operators are present. And you can, since it's very closely followed by Ethereum, that means that it's highly intuitive. If you can use Ethereum, you should have no issues in using Gnosis chain. And we provide a lot of familiar toolings and development guidelines for you to do that. And we have a very robust and very fastly growing ecosystem to help you on your way for development. Our goal, as I said, is to become the most decentralized chain out there. One of the approaches that we use there is to reduce the barrier of entry. You just need one GNO to start staking and act as a validator, as compared to 32 ETH from Ethereum. And along with that, we have dedicated channels for our validators where you can reach out for any issues, and we reply promptly. Here are some stats from a Gnosis Metrics website. On the Gnosis Metrics website, you can get transactions, stats, gas, accounts, etc., and all the information for the last 30 days. Here are just some of the stats for the last 30 days here. Here's a snapshot of some of the applications and tools from a vast ecosystem. Now, as a developer, why you should consider building on Gnosis chain? It has lightning fast speeds. For an L1, just a block time of 5 seconds. It's highly affordable. In just 0.01 extra, or just 0.1 cent, you can do hundreds of transactions. It's highly accessible, as I previously mentioned as well. We have tons of guidelines and development tools, which should be quite familiar with anyone using Ethereum, and strong ecosystem support. And about the decentralization as well. The second most decentralized chain out there. We plan to be the first one too. Now, in the next few slides, I'll go through some of the popular projects on Gnosis chain, starting off with the DAOs. Gnosis chain is actually one of the top choices for DAOs. Some of the most popular ones are the Cow DAO, which is for the cow swap, our own DAO, the Gnosis DAO, Bioeconomy, and the H1 Hive. We have tons of DeFi projects as well on our built over our chain. Some of the popular ones are Curve Finance, 1inch Desk, and BowSwap. You might also want to check out the NFTs and the gaming projects built on top of Gnosis chain. One of them, quite popular one, is POAP, which is a proof of attendance protocol, and I'll come back on it later on too. There's the Nifty Fair NFT marketplace, sort of similar to OpenSea. We have lots of popular real-time strategy games. Maybe some of you might have heard of Conquest ETH. It's quite popular. And there's GitPop as well, which gives you digital badges for your GitHub contributions. Now, going over how, as a developer, you can get started building on the Gnosis chain. So the first step is just to get a wallet that supports Gnosis chain. We have a website dedicated for it, which allows you to select the wallet that suits your needs the best. Maybe you want an open source wallet or a self-custody wallet. You can filter the available wallets with those criteria, and then you get the wallet. After that, just connecting your wallet to the Gnosis chain. Here's the RPC endpoint provided for both the mainnet and the Chiado testnet. And alternative is to use autoconfig using chain list, and you can just automatically connect your wallet to Gnosis chain and Chiado. Now you've got the wallet, you have connected it with our RPC endpoint. Finally, you need XDAI for gas. So you get XDAI using a faucet. This is a faucet which provides you the XDAI for both the mainnet as well as the Chiado testnet. And you can just get your XDAI from there. To summarize the build process and the deployment process on Gnosis, it's very similar to Ethereum. And so it's 100% compatible with Ethereum. So if you can deploy it on Ethereum, it should be a cakewalk for you to deploy it here. Just follow the guidelines present. First, get a wallet, connect to the RPC endpoints, get XI from the faucet, and just deploy it. You can deploy it on the Chiado testnet as well, but if you, for the hackathon, you can directly deploy it on the Gnosis chain as well. There's no issues on that. So let's quickly go over the toolings for the validators. To start, we have D14N, which is a real-time dashboard for which measures decentralizations between Ethereum and the Gnosis chain. You can find stats like the number of node counts, the total staking, where the node operators operate from which countries, and which cloud providers do they use, information on staking pools, etc. And you can find a breakdown for all of them for Gnosis chain and for Ethereum, a side-by-side comparison for both. There's also the validategnosis.com, which is a how-to guide for selecting validators. So if you are new to learning a validator, you can just input some of the information and answer the questions present here. And based on that, you can be provided with a pre-configured hardware, or we'll suggest you to run it on the cloud. Or if you do not have much technical experience, you can just suggest you to use a dedicated staking pool, or use a plug-and-play solution. So it's pretty easy. Just follow the questions here on the validategnosis.com, and you should be up and running to start a validator pretty soon. So as I mentioned, that the Gnosis chain is a operates on a two-token system. There's also a token for staking, which is the GNO. So you can buy some GNOs from the BuyX sites, an aggregator website which aggregates all the possible most popular platforms where you can buy XDAI and also the GNO. And based on your preferences, you want to use a fiat or crypto swap, etc. You want to use a bridge, you can just fill in this information and provide you all the popular providers where you can buy the GNO. Finally, there's one more thing that is one of our programs that we want to introduce, and that is the Gnosis VIP program, which is the Validator Incentive Program. So the idea here is that we don't only want large number of validators, but we also want diversity in the number of countries in which those validators operate in. So to encourage the diversity of the node operators, we have launched this validator diversity, the geographic diversity program, Gnosis VIP. So we are offering 5 million in bounties, which will be provided to you in GNO. We already have validators from over 75 countries, and we plan to we target a lot more. And our mission, as I previously mentioned, is to be the most decentralized chain out there. We are the second one right after Ethereum, and the barrier of entry is quite low as well. It's just one GNO. Here is a QR code you can scan to visit the Gnosis VIP, gnosisvip.com, and get started with the bounties. Some of our other bounties that we have is, which I'm going to go over next. starting off with the Hashi project, which is a project built by the Gnosis Guild team. It's a cross-chain protocol based on additive security. So at its core, Hashi is a hash oracle aggregator, so which allows developers to build, which allow developers to use the best options available and get the best out of all worlds for using the dexes and bridges. So the idea is to what we call a redundant array of hash oracles. The main goal here is to distribute the trust so that you don't have to trust any particular bridge security mechanism, but you can get all of those. And the reason why we decided to build this was, why was it necessary? So just in 2022, last year, if you check the Rect news, top 4 out of the 5 Rect leaderboards were actually bridge exploits. So you cannot trust any individual bridge because no bridge is 100% secure. This allows the users to create a layer of additional security on top of that. So the idea is that why choose one bridge when you can, bridge security mechanism when you can have all of them. And all the bridge designs have different trade-offs maybe for costs, securities, and audit, so you can get the best of all worlds here. Yeah. Now, there are some projects that we would like developers to build on top of Hashi. That includes maybe writing an adapter for another bridge or a ZK client. And there's some improvements that we would like you to make on Giri Bashi, which or new consensus mechanisms for when oracles disagree with each other, or build a governance bridge, and the end-to-end some end-to-end applications on top of that. Apart from these two, just be as creative as you can and send us a proposal and we'll review it and get back to you. Yeah, some of the resources for building on for some of the resources for Hashi. Now, there's some other projects as well that we would like to discuss, and there are bounties for these two. So starting off with is a payroll EVM programmable bank account, a payroll with that, which is you can just brainstorm some solutions to improve the payroll mechanism, like maybe do some calculate the salaries, some taxes stuff, or some any other stuff. You can just brainstorm it, send us a proposal for the payroll for EVM programmable bank account, or may build with POAP, which is the proof of attendance protocol. So turn your memorable moments into a digital collectible. There are some ZK bridge solutions that you might explore as well. End-to-end ZK bridge solutions on Gnosis chain. There's the Euro Ramp app, which is which allows users to invest their euros into crypto, and you can build apps on that too. It is powered by Ethereum, which is a decentralized payment solution built on top of blockchains. And this will allow users to use the Safe app and invest the euros into different crypto assets. And finally, using the Li-Fi technology, which allows devices to connect even when they are at some distance. This will, and the same Euro price aggregator, we'd like to see that here, the Euro price aggregator on Gnosis chain using the Li-Fi technology. And yeah. So these are some, this is what you can scan and look at the resources for the project requested. Finally, we'd love to hear from you if you can contribute to Gnosis chain in any other way, irrespective of whether you are a developer or a designer or just interested in blockchains or passionate to improve the Gnosis chain. We would love to hear from you. Just be as creative with your ideas as possible, and send us a proposal, and we'll take a look at it. And welcome to the decentralized journey with Gnosis chain. Sharing some resources now, which will for development. Starting with the docs, and this should be your entry point for the documentation on Gnosis chain. So all the developers, if you want to build on Gnosis chain, this is the entry point for you all. The buyxchai.com, which is the aggregator for both the xchai and the GNO. So yeah, this is where you can buy some xchai or GNO. There's also the mGNO validate Gnosis, which converts your GNOs to mGNO. MGNO is what you use to stake on the Gnosis chain, and this is the website that you can use to convert between these two. It's an MGNO is similar to wrapped ETH, and it's like the ratio here is 32 MGNO to 1 GNO. Here sharing some of our socials of how you can get in touch with our team. There's always Twitter where you can just tag us, and we monitor it pretty closely. We have our Discord channels where folks are pretty active. We have our dedicated Telegram channels, and you can always contact us on our website. Yep, that's all, and I would love to address some questions if you have. Okay, if there aren't many questions, maybe you can ask some questions on some resources or some bounties that we offer, and would love to address those too. Cool. In that case, would love to chat with you all at our booth, and we also have a PO up there, so we'll issue one for you if you just swing by us, and I would love to hear from you. Yep, that's all. Thank you.